Okay, go.
Okay, this right here is Mug Root Beer, and today we will be talking about Chris Benoit, the greatest wrestler and the greatest father that ever lived.
Tell them to rate, comment, and subscribe.
Yeah, rate, comment, and subscribe for more.
Okay, guys.
Okay.
We're gonna have a bit of an argument today about a certain man.
Yep.
A certain crippler, a certain rabid Wolverine, a certain father, a certain husband,
A certain
man named Chris Benoit. He got his early work in ECW and Japan and stuff like that. Supposedly he was working out since he was like a little kid. You just watched that documentary. Tell us a little bit about that.
Okay, when he was 12 years old, Christmas Day, his parents first got him a set of weights, and they said he never missed a day of working out. He changed his diet completely. He didn't eat any chips, fattening food, just clean food, trying to be in the best shape of his life. And because that's what he really wanted to do. And he trained with Stu Hart. And
The Hart Dungeon.
The Hart Dungeon, but I forget what Stu Hart's company is called.
I don't know. Smoky Mountain, maybe. I'm not sure which
Smoky
one it
Mountain.
is.
Whatever.
But yeah, so he trained in the dungeon, which is
A huge privilege.
yeah, I guess so.
It's a privilege.
Tyson Kidd trained in the dungeon.
Yeah, well, his hair's retarded, so.
Yeah, he can't be taken seriously ever. So, yeah, from there he moved on to WCW, and he had a lot of good programs.
Oh, yeah.
The Four Horsemen, Kevin Sullivan.
Yeah, before that, he fought Sabu and broke his neck, and that's how the whole crippler thing came about.
Yeah. So, you got anything to say about the WCW? You know a little bit more Benoit stuff than me, I think.
WCW, that's where he got his first marriage from, I know that.
Yeah. Didn't he stay married to her, too?
Yeah, then they got divorced, then she dropped the charges and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Then all went downhill from there.
So yeah, he won the world title in WCW, and he left as the world champion and went to WWF. They had to vacate the belt and stuff, so that's interesting. That led to him having a really good run in the early 2000s. He wrestled guys like Chris Jericho, Kurt Angle.
Eddie.
Yeah, just had these great matches, all these fantastic, memorable matches, you know. And
then he got injured, and that's when the steroid use and painkillers and all that stuff started to happen.
Yeah, around the 2002 time period, he was sidelined with a serious injury. He ended up coming back though, and he won the Royal Rumble, longest Rumble performance ever until Rey Mysterio broke it.
Yeah, but that spigot is retarded too.
So, yeah, so that led him on to main event WrestleMania 20 against Triple H and Shawn Michaels.
That was an amazing match.
Yeah, that's his favorite match of all time, I think. It's among mine. It's really great. He won the title, and he held it for a couple months, and it was a good reign, I guess. And then Randy Orton won it from him, and then Triple H won it from Orton like a couple weeks later, and Benoit never won a world title again.
Yeah.
He just kind of faded back into the mid-card and started feuding with guys like Finlay.
I like Finlay and all, but yeah.
He actually had an alright feud with Booker T, if I remember right, so that's cool. Yeah, so he just kind of started to fizzle out a bit. Eventually, it came time for 2007. He was drafted to ECW, which was the bastard child of all of WWE. It was the third-rate show that...
Wasn't that when they came back?
Yeah, it was good for like a month maybe. And then, yeah, so he ended up earning number one contendership. It was going to be Chris Benoit versus CM Punk at the show Vengeance Night of Champions 2007.
Yeah, then he canceled that.
Yeah, he was gone for...
well, prior to that, he canceled like 2 other matches. And he said, like, on camera that his family had food poisoning, so they had to go take care of him or something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah, I just watched it, so yeah. He said food poisoning and they were puking blood or something, I don't know. I think he was just ready to call it quits.
They had their last match, he had his last match with the Pope, D'Angelo Dinero.
Yeah,
then
Elijah Burke, if you don't know that, he's Elijah Burke.
Made him tap out to the sharpshooter in what was a solid match. Yeah, so he ended up not showing up for the pay-per-view, which would have been a fantastic match against CM Punk.
Yeah, because they're both good.
2 of the best wrestlers in ring of all time. he didn't show up, and the following Monday it was announced that he was found dead and his family was found dead.
They said he killed his son on Friday, killed his wife. No. Yeah. He killed his wife first, then his... Screw it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you know the story.
It was like a Friday, Saturday, Sunday story.
Yeah, but Monday Night Raw, everybody was pretty sure of what had already happened. They were just kind of holding back from saying it, so they got in a good tribute show on him. Everybody paid tribute and stuff. And, yeah, the next thing you know, he was the biggest disgrace in the history of the company with what he had done, and he was 100% erased from history. Okay, give us your thoughts on that. Nino, should he have been erased?
No.
What's your motivation behind that statement?
Because he's the best wrestler ever.
Ever. I honestly, there have been tons of football players who have made extremely terrible mistakes. Maybe not as terrible as Benoit's, but they still get their acknowledgement. So
yeah, well, Benoit had countless numbers of concussions. Can't even remember how many concussions he has in the NFL. Like, he gave like 3 or 4 concussions, and that's it.
It was the fault. It was the fault of the company ultimately.
Plus, like the steroids, you get a higher testosterone and all that good stuff.
Yeah, he had like, I don't even remember.
10
times. Yeah, that was it. And he had like the brain of like a 90-year-old Alzheimer's patient or something.
Well, yeah, because wrestling made him mentally retarded.
I've been around 90-year-old dementia patients.
Shouldn't us.
Yeah, it's pretty messed up. But yeah, so when you get somebody who's roid raging like that, he has 10 times the testosterone and he's a retard basically.
Well, yeah, because he loved it that much, he turned retarded.
Things aren't gonna go good,
Yeah.
To this day, Benoit's dad tries to defend him, I think.
Yeah, and like they read, like in his house, he had a book of a dream that he wanted, and supposedly, I don't remember the whole story, but it said that Chris Benoit wished his parents would die. Like they would have been killed or something like that. Then him and his wife would go down to like this beach in Florida to save his wife's parents or something like that. Then he said at the end, Eddie, I know there's a message in this, but I don't know what it is. So yeah, we gotta address the white elephant in the room. You know, the big thing. Eddie.
Why in the blue hell did he call Chavo Guerrero before killing himself?
I don't know, because...
Who cares about Chavo?
Eddie was dead by that point, so Chavo was the next best thing.
Chavo, I don't care if the only 2 people on the roster are Chavo and Hornswoggle. Chavo will never be the next best thing. I don't understand at all. That's just interesting. Yeah, I understand. I don't think that they should have gone the direction they did of completely blocking him off TV, but I do understand why he's not in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, well, besides that,
he
should be.
We probably should be wrapping this up. We're probably running low on time, so any final thoughts, Nito?
Chris Benoit's best ever should be mentioned at least once a year, like preferably June 27th.
Yeah, so it's a really big shame, you know, and that's one of the major reasons we're in the PG era now is because of the terrible rep wrestling got for that event. So, yeah, it's a pretty terrible thing. Probably the biggest tragedy in wrestling history.
Next to Owen Hart, but...
Yeah, peace out, guys.
Peace.